From Bradenton, Florida. There he is, John Wehner of the Pirates. John, good morning.
Good morning, Todd. How you been?
Fabulously well. John, do I understand that this is your 20th year doing this for the Pirates?
21st, believe it or not.
21 years you've been doing this? Wow.
Yeah, it's amazing. Time flies.
Really?
Very, very lucky.
Wow. I tell you what, you're pretty lucky to watch some of these young bats coming into the system, too. People talk about the young arms. Pirates have some young bats, don't they?
Yes, and I guess that's the big question mark going into this season is, what are you going to get offensively? And, you expect better than last year. Certainly offensively, this team struggled, and, you hope for some steps forward from guys like O'Neal Cruz for sure. I think this guy has so much talent. He's a future All-Star, and he had a 2020 season last year. I think you could expect even more, maybe a 30-30 from him and playing out there in center field. And, you got a guy like Brian Hayes that's battled the back injury, and you hope for more from him. But, my thing about spring training, what I think I like the most is to watch the young prospects and to see, how they're progressing and how they will fit in the future, like a Termarr Johnson. And, we got Nick York is who we traded for last year, and Billy Cook and some others. But, for the most part, it looks like the offensively, the position player-wise, I think is pretty much set except for first base, because another young guy, Spencer Horowitz, that this team, that they traded for, probably will start the season on the IL. So you wonder who's going to get the at-bats over there at first base. But all in all, you got a very strong rotation. I think the bullpen will be fine. The question mark, I guess, would be, how much is this team going to score? And, you need guys like Cruz and Hayes and Horowitz and others to step up and hopefully be productive.
Well, you threw out a couple of names there that intrigue me, because you get to the end of a season and you go over the winter and into spring training. You think there are some guys you need to fix. There are some guys you need to unlock. Henry Davis is a guy who I think you need to fix, whereas Termarr Johnson is a guy that you need to unlock. So what do you see from Henry Davis in this offseason and coming now into spring training? Is that bat going to play at the major league level? Because it has in the minor leagues. It just can't get going at the major league level. Yeah,
I think there's a big divide between AAA and the big leagues nowadays. Everybody throws hard. There's a lot of talent coming at you pitching-wise throughout baseball, a lot of velocity. Henry, I think he got into some mechanical issues last year where the swing got a little bit long, and so he had trouble catching up with the fastball. Now, he's an extremely hard worker. He has great power. I think he's made adjustments this past off season to shorten up that swing. Hit a home run yesterday. He and Andy Rodriguez hit home runs, which I think those two guys are going to help this club at some point this year. Do they make the team out of spring training? I would say probably not. I think Joey Bart will get most of the catching starts, and so that only leaves a backup position. I think it's important that Henry Davis and Andy Rodriguez go and play some and play regularly. And at some point, they're going to get an opportunity at the big league level. And, they certainly have the talent to be successful at the ultimate level. I just think it's a matter of them figuring it out. And, I think Henry made the correct steps in shortening up his swing and try to simplify hitting a little bit more. And he listening to him talk, he said, "Yeah, I just want to be in a position to get a pitch and put a good swing on it." And sometimes that's all you need to do. I think mechanically he's in the right spot to do that and be successful. But unfortunately, I think with the season he had last year at the big league level and the production we got from Joey Bart, I just don't know if there's enough at-bats for him on opening day to be on the big league roster. But again, having said that, I think when he'll get an opportunity at some point, and I think we're going to need him at some point. And so, there's a lot of talent there, and I'm rooting for him because he's a hard-working kid, and he and Indy both. And I think those two were big prospects for a reason, and I think they'll be useful and will help this club at some point.
Yeah, they talk about the mechanics of Andy Rodriguez's swing being absolutely perfect. What about Termarr Johnson? You've seen him now, and maybe on a limited basis, but you probably have picked up a few things about him and why he has not really hit consistently in the minor league levels. Is he on the verge of breaking through, do you think?
Well, he's only 20, and I think one of the hardest things to do in baseball is to come out of high school and then get thrown into this game against very talented people at such a young age. I mean, you grow up fast. I mean, I know I've said this a lot. I couldn't have done it coming out of high school. I needed to go to college to get a little more mature and learn the game a little bit better and kind of go through the steps that way. I think you have to be incredibly talented to be a high school kid and get thrown into this this game. It's just so competitive. You're out there every day. You're playing against elite talent every day, and it takes a little longer for some, especially I think the high school guys. And he has a ton of power, a ton of talent, but he's still learning. I mean, I think he has work to do defensively, and I think he has work to do offensively as far as just trying to be consistent. For a guy that's not very tall, and he's violent. I mean, he has a violent swing, and which produces power. And I think it's a matter of just kind of controlling that bat a little bit more, and maybe not being as violent. And he doesn't have to overswing to hit the ball to the ballpark. He could just when he learns to shorten up the swing and be a little shorter, a little quicker. He has a pretty good eye at the plate. He draws his walks, but there's some swing and miss in there too, and that's where I think you kind of try to find that balance to where a shorter, more efficient swing will create even better results. And you'll still hit for power, but the average will go up and the swing and miss will go down. And typically for a high school kid, it's going to take you a little longer than a college kid. It's probably going to take you 4 or 5 years at least. And so, he'll get to work, and he has a great work ethic. And but there's it's a grind coming up through the minor leagues. I mean, you don't get many days off, and you're out there every day and trying to figure it out at an elite level.
Well, that being the case, the Pirates are in a similar situation with Connor Griffin, the kid drafted last year. And boy, did he have a splashy debut over the weekend. My goodness gracious. It's the game-winning home run on Saturday. Compare his situation with Termarr Johnson's in terms of their development and their ability to take on the pro game at their age.
Yeah, again, now he's 18, and but man, he is a specimen. I mean, Termarr, like I said, he's put together. He's stocky built and but shorter. And Connor's big kid, 6'4", I believe, and 220 pounds, and he can fly. To watch him run is something to see. And you wonder about his game, because I remember we had him on the air last year after he signed, and he talked about just wanting to hit the ball and run the bases, and you don't even think about the power, because he didn't say anything about power. Then the home run he hit the other day in Sarasota against the Orioles, I mean, it was kind of into the wind to right center field, and man, it was a bomb. I mean, he has legit power. He has all the tools to be an all-star type player. I mean, you think of a baseball player, especially an outfielder. You're tall and you're put together, and you can run, and he's going to steal bases. He's going to hit the ball to the ballpark, and he's also going to have some growing pains. It's tough. As an 18-year-old, I mean, he really hasn't played at the professional level yet, and he's getting an audition here. He probably won't be here very long. They'll probably send him into camp here relatively soon, and then he'll go through the grind and then face great competition. Probably start an A-ball and have to figure it out. But guys with that kind of talent, they might figure it out a little quicker than others. And so certainly a bright future for Connor. And he is what you look for in a baseball player. I mean, he has all the tools you want, and it's just a matter of figuring it out and going out there and playing and learning from your mistakes.
Well, you were a hitting coach in the Pirates minor league system. You know that if you're a minor league hitting coach and you get that walks through your locker room door and out onto the field. If I'm a hitting coach at the minors, I'm saying I'm not touching that. Somebody else can deal with that, because if I mess that up, then I'm in deep trouble.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, everybody's going to need instruction. I mean, that's why you have a coaching staff, and there's going to be things to learn, defensively on the bases and in the batter's box. And for the most part, you have that kind of talent. You just want to go out and see him play, and at times he'll struggle, and that's where the coaching hat comes on, and you recognize adjustments that need to be made. You offer them up, and you hope that they can apply them and improve and limit the struggles. Every hitter, I don't care who you are, is going to struggle from time to time. And so the really good ones, the times they struggle are shorter than others. And then when they get hot, you hope that they get extended. And then they last longer. And so again, he'll go through growing pains, so just like every other player. And it's your job as a coach to kind of try to figure it out and help them along the way. But usually that kind of talent doesn't struggle as long as others.
Yeah, you're right about that. All right, so the Pirates play their first night game of the spring tonight against the Yankees. Is that ever a really big moment for them, or is that just another day at the park?
Playing a night game's kind of fun. It kind of breaks up the monotony of spring training. Spring training can get long. We're only about a week in, but you're getting up early and you get to the ballpark and you go through your normal routine. Well, you get to sleep in for a change and play what's a normal regular season game, which is a night game. And up at Tampa is always fun because you're playing with a bunch of superstars. You're playing against a bunch of superstars, and and you'll have a packed house, and and you're under the lights, and so it feels more like a big league game than a typical spring training game. And so it's always nice to mix in a night game, and it's always nice to go up there in Tampa and play against that team, because it's like all the stars are out, and you want to impress against the big boys.
Yeah, and then you're going to get to see them very early in the season at PNC too, so that's going to be fun.
Yes, that's interesting. I was thinking, I don't think we've ever opened up against the Yankees, so that'll be a big weekend.
Real big. Hey, John, thanks for the visit this morning. Good to catch up with you again.
Yeah, I look forward to talking to you this week, and it's beautiful time, down here. It's a beautiful weather. It's a different world down here. But you can't wait to get out of here and head up north and get the season going. You
think it's warmer there than at the 17 degrees that we have here today?
Yeah, I mean, it's a little chilly. It's only like 57 right now, but boy, the sun's out and it's just beautiful. But hopefully it'll warm up there.
You betcha. John, have a great day.
Thanks, Todd. Take care.
John Wehner, the Pittsburgh Pirates. It is the voice of Indiana County. It's WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, and WCCSradio.com.